Welcome to another video from Gweilo 60. I'm back in Nanning after 14 days on the road. You're going to see a bunch of videos about Gansu province, which is actually the same as Tibet. I had no idea when I went there. It's like 3,000 or over 3,000 meters in the air, hard to breathe, and well, you'll just have to wait for those videos. Then I went to the South China Sea fishing and ended up in the Shanghai Tower. I was in the Shanghai Tower yesterday. I got in late last night back into Nanning, the second highest high-rise in the entire world. But that's not what this video is about. Just giving you an update of what's coming up on the channel. You know, the idea that I got into making videos back a number of years ago was to show my family and friends, mostly my dad, what China was actually like, because he had a bad understanding of what China was actually like. He figured, what you doing in a communist country, boy, what the hell, you know, and I said, I'm retiring over there, and you know, he didn't understand it. So I picked up a camera, started making videos, and I put them on YouTube, and things sort of ballooned into a little bit bigger than what I expected it to actually balloon into. Well, that's okay. The more people, the merrier as far as I'm concerned. And I show videos of the good side of China. I show videos about farming communities. I show videos about the beautiful mountainous areas of Guangxi Autonomous Region. I show videos about people building businesses in villages and bringing economic success to their area of mainland China. I show videos of coastal areas. I show videos of just the good areas, the happy-go-lucky China that I know and live in. And why do I do that? Because there's so many anti-China rhetoric out there in the world. The mainstream media in the West are always dishing on China. The Western politicians, Aaron O'Toole being one of them, always dishing on China. Oh, and tomorrow is the Canadian election. It's the 19th today. Yeah, it's the 19th today. And what day is it, Gweilo? I don't know. I'm retired. How the hell am I supposed to? But it's the 19th today. So tomorrow the Canadians go to the polls. I think Aaron O'Toole is a better guy for the job, but he does have that dish on China attitude. You get the YouTubers out there that dish on China. So what I do is, rather than trying to fight against these people, because how do you fight against mainstream media? How do you fight against world-class politicians, and how do you fight against YouTubers that have 1 million subscribers on their channels? Well, you really don't. So what I do is I show the good stuff about mainland China. I show what it's actually like in my world, and by doing that, I show the viewers, you viewers out there, a different China than what you're used to hearing about, and maybe some of that will filter through. I know it has on a lot of people. A lot of people have commented on my channel and actually private messaged me saying, you know, I always had a bad vibe about China. I didn't like China. I listened to all of the rhetoric about China, and I hated China. But through your videos, I see that China's not the China that they portray in the Western mainstream media. You've changed my mind. I'm going to travel to China. I can hardly wait to get to China. Oh, I traveled to China before. I miss it. I want to go back. You know, all of these different things that I hear on my channel, and I think it's because of the different types of videos that I make. I do get drawn into he said, she said every once in a while. I do get drawn into bashing anti-China YouTubers every once in a while, and you know, it's one of those things. It's human nature. That's going to happen, but the idea that showing you what China's really like on the streets. When I drive around Nanning, the e-bikes, the cars, the you know, the hustle and bustle of the city, to the beautiful parks in all across China, you know, to the pristine lakes and mountains of the rural areas, to the farming communities, to, you know, all of those different things. And I think if more people saw what the real China was actually like, they would have a better view on mainland China and the Chinese people. A lot of anti-China rhetoric in the West, a lot of anti-China hate in the West, a lot of violence against Chinese in the West, and it's not it's not happening on its own. It's happening because of the anti-China rhetoric. It's happening because of the politicians, the mainstream media, the unmainstream media like YouTubers and people like that. So that's why I make my videos. That's why I do videos about China in a way that I do and show you just what it's really like, because I think that has more impact. When an anti-China YouTuber says, oh, there's no birds in China, and I show, as I will, eagles, like dozens of eagles in mainland China. Whenever I see a bird in a lake or by a lake, I show that bird, just to show you that it's not real. What they tell you is not real. It's made to get your view on their channels so that they can make money off your view. And that's what it's all about for a lot of people. For me, it's not. I don't do this for money. Money is irrelevant to a retired person. That I wouldn't have retired if I didn't have enough money to live for the rest of my life in a good manner. When they're redoing the KFC here, every once in a while they tear it all apart and make it all new. But every time Wei Fong and I go into, say, an all-you-can-eat buffet, all-you-can-drink, I try to show it to you guys so you can see that, boy, you're getting hosed hard in the West for prices of food. You pay more, on an average, in tips to the waitress than I do for an all-you-can-eat and all-you-can-drink buffet. See, all of these little things that it's really hard to explain in one video. It takes literally hundreds of videos to show you all of the really good things about China. Does China have bad things? Yes. Does China have an authoritarian government? Yes, they do. And an authoritarian government has its place in this world, especially during a COVID outbreak like they've had in the world over the last couple of years. When I decided to come back here instead of Canada, that was a great decision. That was probably one of the best decisions Wei Fong and I have ever made in our lives, because, as you can see, no mask, no problem. And there's hardly anybody around here. It's 12:30 in the afternoon, but it's a mid-autumn festival. So everybody in the city got up and took off back to their village, their hometown type thing. And that happens a couple, 2-3 times a year when there's holidays that are more than 1 or 2 days long. So I guess what I'm trying to say in this video is that maybe the way to change the view of what people have around the world of mainland China is to actually show them mainland China and what happens on a daily basis, what happens on the streets of the cities of China, what happens in the villages, what happens in the tourist places, what happens on the coast, what happens on the mountain, from the Buddhist temples to the Muslim food streets, to the regular life of the Han people, to the Zhang people in Sanjiang and their traditional outfits, to the ice caves of Guangxi, to Gweilo, the beauty of Gweilo, to all of these different things. So if I keep making videos, and one of the things that I have noticed though is when I make a video and show the beauty of China, show the mountains, the touristy type stuff, I do get less hits on my channel, because a lot of people are out there looking for the he said, she said, we're right, you're wrong type of attitude. And I think that maybe that's probably the wrong way to attack something like this. And maybe attack isn't even the right word. The wrong way to portray your side of the story. I see China in a different light because I live here. I've lived here for 18 years, and I actually like China. I think it has, the culture, the tradition, the non-violence, the no drugs, the no homeless people. Everybody knows a day's work is a day's work. There are no handouts. It's growing so fast, and it's the next big metropolis country. Well, it is the big metropolis country of the world already, but it's the future of the world. China is the future of the world. And as we show that part of China to you, the viewer, maybe more of you people will start tuning into the touristy type stuff, seeing what China's really like, rather than listening to the rhetoric that just reinforces what you already think about China or don't think about China. What if you're anti-China or pro-China? If all you do is listen to the rhetoric, it's just telling you what you already think or know. If you watch the videos that actually show the real life in China, maybe you're going to learn something. Maybe you're going to see something on the street and say, oh, I didn't know that. Just like when I went to the East China Sea with CGTN here over the last 10 days. I ended up in a typhoon museum on Zhoushan Island during a typhoon. I ended up at a Chinese sturgeon natural reserve sanctuary for an endangered species. I had no idea the Chinese sturgeon were endangered, but they're this close from extinction, and the reasons for it. And that's coming up in a video. I had no idea the Shanghai Tower was 632 meters high. I had no idea that it had 1,000-ton weight to keep it from swaying in the wind because it is so high. I didn't know it was the second highest, tallest building in the world. I'm learning as I go along, and I've been here for 18 years. So when people are actually watching videos about China, you can watch to your heart's content, and I guarantee you'll never know everything about this country. Like, for instance, look at this stuff. Look at this stuff. 1 year ago, that wasn't there. You know what I mean? So China is growing in leaps and bounds. China is growing faster than any other place in the world, and China is getting richer faster than any other place in the world. That doesn't mean that they don't take care of the people here in mainland China. They do take care of the people. It's all a competition thing. The West is going to tell you that China's bad because they're in competition for the almighty dollar. What is this? The Australian, the American, and the British are getting together in a UCAS, that's what they call it, the UCAS Pact, to try to contain China's growth. Why would they want to contain China's growth? It makes no sense to me. But the only reason they do want to contain China's growth, in my mind, is that because China's their competition. They're afraid of China becoming a very strong place because they have a different form of government. They don't understand the Chinese form of government, so obviously that's reason to be concerned and be afraid. It's if you don't understand it, it's bad, and be afraid of it. Change is hard. Sure it is. But China's not a threat. China hasn't been in numerous wars throughout the last 5 or 6 decades. China hasn't occupied other countries. China hasn't done anything to deserve what people are saying about it. China has bettered their position in the world, became a stronger military country, has alleviated poverty, extreme poverty in the country. They're going green. After 2030, their carbon emissions will start going down, and by 2060, there won't be any. Different initiatives like this that are, I think, a head and shoulders above what's going on in the rest of the world. And they're doing this while they're building high-speed trains. They're doing this while they're manufacturing electric vehicles. They're doing this while they're building high-rises on a regular basis. As they're building new roads, as they're building new subways, all electric, all hopefully in the future powered by green power, by solar, by wind, by nuclear. Actually, China's nuclear output isn't as big as, say, the United States, but they have more nuclear plants in construction now than the rest of the world put together. So initiatives like this that just bring them to a different level than what the rest of the world is doing at this point, it, you know, right now people can say bad China, bad China, bad China, but really, do they know what they're talking about? I don't think so. Anyway, that's another video from Gweilo. A little bit of a rant, I know. It's one of those things, but I'll get back into the touristy stuff later. If you like this video, as always, like, comment, subscribe, push that share button. Don't forget to resubscribe. Don't forget to hit the bell. And whatever you do, don't forget to put a couple bucks in the Children's Patreon account. It's for a good cause. Because it's Mid-Autumn Festival, tonight we're off to a rooftop barbecue beer and brandy night. You know, I do love my life. Living in a place like China has shown me so much more than I knew as a Saskatchewan boy, or as a Canadian. And I've traveled the world a lot. And I've learned more from this country than I've learned from any other country. I've learned more from these people than I could imagine. And being polite and being nonviolent is one of their main traits. I wish it was like that in the rest of the world. Anyway, peace out. Bye now.